Good evening, vinyl community. Let's see if this mic is working. Just for a change, you want stuff to work, just for the heck of it. Okay, here we go. For some people to join, follow up a little bit here on the DFW record show today, which was fun, interesting day at the record show. Hey, Nick, how are you doing? X-File, what's going on? Yeah, wearing my Third Man Records t-shirt. Your turntables are not dead. Thought that was a pretty cool t-shirt. Long sleeve. They don't even find long sleeve, but I got it in the UK, so I guess I can see why they have long sleeve stuff in the UK. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? AZ Mick, how's it going, guys? Yeah, I had a good time today. Good day. Really been I mean, gosh, I got there for the early bird, and there was a line outside, which I've never had happen at that place before. Usually it's inside they have a little bit of a line, but then the line snaked out today. So, and then once the regular opening was at 10, then really the floodgates opened up pretty much. So, but any good scores? Yeah, I got a few. I got a few. I'll show you guys. Yeah, I got a few. Some that you know how it is. It's some like you almost never find what you really are got on your list, but then you find something you don't have on your list. But that's good. Yeah, I've got them all sitting right here, guys. I've got all my all what I got. I hope I got everything here. Yeah, I got my bag here, so I got everything. So yeah, I'll show you guys. The old saying, "One man's trash is another man's treasure," right? A few of them I bought. Said to the guy, I said, "I bet you thought you weren't going to sell this one for a while, but some things have meaning. You know how it is, especially when you've been collecting a long time." And then one of them I found was one of the first albums I ever got, and then about a year after I got it, my mom got into a fit mode, and she got some of my records and flung them, and learned how to play frisbee before there were frisbees with them, and I never replaced it. So I found it 60 some years later or whatever it was. I don't remember how old. I guess it was about 8. Yeah, probably about 8 years old. Yeah. Mom thought my hobby was taking too much of my focus, but that's the way it was. I guess some things never change. Because actually, I can show you, this was the album. Ricky Nelson Sings For You, which was a hit that he had in '63. Yeah, he also had, I think, Fools Rush In came in first. It was first, and then For You came in, and it was number 6. I think it made it to in October of '63. But this is actually on Brunswick, which is German pressing. So this was not the Decca. It was a Brunswick, but it was clean, very clean. A lot of these are interesting because they're cut really flat. I mean, there's no upper ridge at the top or anything, to catch the stylus in case it moves toward the outer a little bit. And it's very clean, flat cut on the edge. I mean, a flat surface, different kind of cut. So yeah. At age, my preferred cleaning method, age 8. Didn't really have one, I don't think. I mean, I just took care of them, I guess, is what I tried to do. But this was, this one was German pressing. It sounds really good. I've already played it. It sounds really, really good. So would have been nice to find the Decca just to have that color, same color label as I had as a kid. But so yeah, Ricky Nelson was one of my first artists that I liked a lot. And then he had several hits in the late 50s and early 60s, and then he was starting to come up again. He had this number 6 song, and no sooner did he come in, and then the British invasion hit. Hey David, how's it going? So he kind of got knocked down. I don't think he had another hit until he had Garden Party in 70 or 71. So that's the way it is. But I got this one, and now this is an interesting one to me because this is the Best of the Doors, but typically this is a quadraphonic. I've got several of these in quadraphonic, but this one, they overwrote. You see that block up there in the corner? They put a block there with a record number on their ID number, because that box is blocking what used to be quadradisc. It was a 4-channel. And so they actually used the mixtape from the quadraphonic for this one, but it's in stereo. So I've never seen a stereo version of this particular record. I've got 2 or 3 copies of the quad CD4 version. So I was really shocked to see this, because it's always has that quad indicator up there, and so that one was good. This one is an original master recording of Deja Vu, and I paid $100 for it. It was $125, but I got it for $100. So mobile fidelity, virgin vinyl. See the light right through it, and this is one I didn't have, so I wanted to. Kind of been looking for it. So yeah, and that's one that I like a lot, and I didn't have. I one of the few early ones I didn't have. This one was New Colony 6, which was a band out of Chicago area, and they had several hits back then. One of them was Things I'd Like to Say and I Will Always Think About You, and those two are on this one. This one was sealed, actually, so I did unseal it and listen. It's on the turntable right now. I listened to it on Mercury Records. So and then another one that I used to have is Buckingham's Kind of a Drag. They were another local Chicago band. I grew up near Chicago, so these were bands I was very familiar with. And ironically, the guy that engineered this album, Ron Malo, is the same guy that engineered the New Colony 6. So so this had Kind of a Drag on it, but Buckingham's had other hits. Don't You Care, Susan, Lottie Miss Molly, or something like that. Lottie Mama, I think it was called. But this was the actual local USA Records. This is a local Chicago label. And then they got moved on to Columbia. Columbia picked them up after this album. And I've got the mono of this. I just never had the stereo, so I found this was a stereo version. And I got this for $12, so which was a good deal. Not easy to find. Oh, there's that. I had a record go flying. Okay. Got a couple of these were in really good shape. These were half off, so both of these were $20 total. A couple of Monkeys. There's original Sears stereo labels on them. These are really pristine looking. Doesn't even really look like they've been played, to be honest with you. So these were a couple that I didn't have. I've got pretty much their whole catalog. Those were 2 I needed just to kind of fit it. Look like a Stax label for a second. Yeah. This is David Gates, Goodbye Girl, sealed, right? $8. Um, which I have a copy of this, but I've played it so much. It's got some other really good tunes on here besides just the song from that movie. Take the Last Train is really, really a good song. But I like David Gates a lot, and in Bread, so that was a good snag. So here was my weird one of the day. So if you're gonna say weird, so this is Dave Grusin Nightlines, and this is really a good. Oh, matter of fact, you go to one of my early videos about records that I use to demo systems, and that this is one of them. And so I wanted to get another copy of this to give to one of my kids, actually. And this has some really good tunes on it. One of them is the theme to St. Elsewhere, which probably if you hear it, you'll remember it. That was a TV show. And so I paid $10 for this thing. It was in really nice shape. And I go to another booth, and they got the same one, and I paid $10 for this, but it's actually a white label promo. So, the odds are I probably wouldn't have bought the other one if I'd have seen this first, but I had to have the white label promo of it. But if you ever see this one, get it just for the sonics. It's a really, really, it's digital, but it's really great early digital. It sounds fabulous, very dynamic recording. So if you ever see it, pick it up. It's well worth the 10 or $15. So yeah, I couldn't help but buy this one because it was a promo. Not that they pressed a lot of these, to be honest with you, but it was just really ironic how I had bought one, and then no sooner I did that, somehow you ended up with a MASH theme in your head. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not the MASH theme. Oh, hang on. I got to get 2 more albums. I just moved. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, I realized I didn't have my. Got a couple of Beatle albums, which pretty much, if I'm going to go somewhere, I'm going to be looking a lot at Beatle albums. So I got a couple of. I got a Mono Please Please Me Japanese, and this is a DMM, one of those direct metal masters. So I'm really interested to hear how this sounds. Paul, yeah. So I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna probably do a shootout on these against the other monos I have, but hadn't seen a DMM one before, and I also got a Hard Day's Night mono as well from Japan. So I'm just interested to see to hear how those sound. So, okay, what else do I got here? Oh, well, here's my point. Okay. So I bought another quadra disc of this. There's that in the corner, and then it has this wraparound that they took off. It says CD4 discrete. So I saw another one of these, and I picked it up just because I got a friend that's local that has a quad system that doesn't have that. I got a Meatloaf Bad Out of Hell Half Speed Master CBS, which I've never seen before, to be honest with you. I've got a lot of these half speeds of CBSs. Yeah, the bright, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Nick, I've got a few DMMs, and I noticed that a little bit too. I'm hoping it's not too harsh on like Please Please Me. This is a UK compilation of Joe Walsh. So Far So Good, it's called. And this is like his best stuff. It's got Rocky Mountain Way, Welcome to the Club, Bookends, Walk Away, Mother Says, and then some solo stuff. Turn to Stone, Here We Go, Meadows, Time Out. So this was a unique compilation from the UK. So I thought for $8, pick that up. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. Been looking for this one. I've got it. I had it on CD, but Bananaramas. It's got Cruel Summer on it. That's the main song that I know well, but I wanted to get that. I've been looking for that one. This is a little bit of electronica, Synergy Sequence. I've got a few Synergy albums, and there's just times I like to listen to that kind of music. So that one was kind of my off the wall, so to speak, a bit. Nice Asia QX. Where's the QX label at? Oh, there it is on top. I'm sorry. It's a promo, Asia. So that one was $12. A lot of them were half off. A lot of the booths were half off of what was listed. So Booker T and the MGs, greatest hits on Stax, which I like some of their instrumental stuff. So I thought, yep, I've been kind of looking to find a greatest hits, and guess what? It's a white label promo as well. So you have a Loggins and Messina quad, yeah. Is it Full Sail? That one I see all the time. I see that one all the time. Getting down to the nub here. Oh, this was an interesting one. So Lindsey Buckingham, Seeds to Sow. This was a very limited edition red vinyl out of Europe, and it was half. It was $50, and these are going for more than 100 right now. And so it was red vinyl. I like Lindsey Buckingham a lot, so I've never seen this album, to be honest with you. So thought I'd give that a run and see what it was like. I think that's pretty much it as far as that. Now, the other thing is I met a lady who wrote this book. She was there, Diary of a Beatlemaniac. So it's all about her life as a young lady who she followed the Beatles really closely. She saw them. She also befriended one of the actors that was in A Hard Day's Night, the guy who played the record producer. I'm trying to remember his name, Victor something. But anyway, really nice lady. Got to talk to her, and so she's actually local. So I'm going to be interviewing her and getting to know her. So it was really really a nice time. Got a copy of the book for my daughter. Got a signed copy for myself. But really nice lady, and there's actually a club that she has of she was part of the U.S. Beatles club fan club in the 60s. So yeah, she's really you talk about someone who's really into it. She's really into it, and she was 12 or 13 when they hit it big here. So she's older than I am even. And had two really wonderful daughters there. Ironically, her daughters really liked the Doors a lot, which was kind of she said they're not as much into the Beatles, but they're into the Doors. And I'm like, well, the Doors are good too. So put my link up there if anybody wants to join. Lindsey Buckingham album. That's super rare. Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah, I've never seen it before, and I looked it up and I said, that was a booth. It was $100, but everything was half off. So I said $50. I just got it's a double album. So I really thought, give it a shot. It's the one with Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll. I think I got that one too. I think I have that one in quad also. Okay. Yeah. Loggins and Messina. Yeah. So I did not, didn't know that. Like I said, I read up on it just a little bit, and it just seemed like it was sitting there waiting for somebody to grab it. I don't know. Uh, but anyway, so this lady, her name is Patricia Gallo Stedman, and so like I said, ironically, she lives right here in the Dallas area. She lives in the same city as my mother-in-law. So we're going to get together and have lunch, and I'm going to do an interview, and then hopefully I can get her and the other two ladies on for the group of three, the Beatle Babes, as they're called, to kind of reminisce. Where I guess we're first generation Beatle people because we grew up, during that time. So that was cool, but it was a good show. It was very busy. I'll be sharing some video and stuff that I have, and it was very crowded, which it's good. I mean, if you're there, of course, it's a little, but it was good to see that much interest and activity, and there was a lot of younger people. I heard a little girl. And I say little girl, I mean she was probably 12. And she asked one of the gals at one of the booths, she says, "Do you know where I can get any needles for my record player?" And I thought, well, I haven't heard the term needles in a long time since you heard Beetle drop, needle drop, of course. But and then met a couple of guys who were selling, who actually watched the channel, who were one was from Odessa, a couple were from Oklahoma City. Had another guy who recognized my voice when I was in the hallway talking to somebody and walked over and tapped me and said, "Are you Safe and Sound Texas?" So my branding, I guess, isn't so bad because they sure remembered it. So I was really heartened by that, to tell you the truth. It was like, okay, well, at least they recognize it from that. So it was nice. I spent quite a bit of time with the guy from Odessa, had a lot of great stories, and he was into audiophile records, and so yeah. I mean, usually I'll spend maybe 3 hours at a show, but I was there I was from like 8 to 2:30. So I spent quite a bit of time just hanging out with different people. Stax, white label promo. Yeah, I didn't see you put that up there, Nick. Yeah, Time is Tight. That's one of my favorite. Hang 'em High, Time is Tight. Yeah, I love that stuff. I haven't played it yet, but when I saw that, and then I saw it was a white label promo, I was like, oh, gotta go for that. Yeah, so it was good. Like I said, you don't walk out with usually what you intended to. There's always surprises. It's like the the Mobile Fidelity Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. The guy that had that, he had bought a collection out of Arkansas, and he was, that's pretty much what he brought, was that whole collection. And in looking at the collection, it was decent, but it didn't. I mean, that was the only MoFi, and it was like, it would just seem like a pig in a poke. It was like, what's this thing doing in here? Because first thing I saw was the price tag on it before I realized it was a MoFi, and I'm like, wow, it seemed out of Best of Booker T too. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Harry's a nice guy. Harry's a very nice guy. I enjoy Harry. He's a true record guy, and he's a good man. Yeah, Booker. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's funny, you don't go looking for it, but there it is. It's sitting there waiting for you. And so it was. There were a couple things. There was a guy that was selling. He was pretty well selling almost 80% of what he was selling was analog production stuff, Chad stuff. And I mean, some of the high end stuff that hasn't been pressed in a long while. And and I got to talking to him, and he was he didn't realize that, like Steely Dan's, you could order all of them. Now you could order them anytime. You didn't. It wasn't like they were, one at a time. You had to order them, kind of thing, or wait. Uh, so we had a good chat about the releases that have come out, and his history with it. But I mean, a lot of what he had, the jazz stuff, it was $300-400 kind of stuff. It was mainly new, a little bit of used, but I'd say 80-20, probably 80% new, sealed, and 20% used. But anything that was used was really pristine. So yeah, and there was a guy there, and he was selling records that were, I mean, they weren't that expensive, 8, 10, $12 kind of records, but they were all in good shape. Matter of fact, the guy I bought the Two Monkeys from, records from, everything he sold was, usually when they're discounting them and they're not that high, then they're usually, you got to really look. But I mean, everything he had was VG, almost VG plus or better. And so there were a lot of people, you could tell they just bought collections, and one of them, guy was selling records for $2, and then, once in a while you'll find something in something like that, but generally not. But there were, there's a Beatle booth that's always there, people that sell, and it's just really high end. I saw 3 mono Sergeant Peppers. One was $80. One was 200, and one was 150. And the $80 one had some scratches on it, and I wouldn't even consider that. The other ones were pretty good, but I mean, I wouldn't want to get into that kind of into $200 for one that was really in decent shape. So just have to wait until the time comes, when you find it. But yeah, he was the guy that was selling the AP stuff. He knew his jazz, and there was a guy who was at a booth like 2 down from him, and he was looking at a lot of the jazz, and he was looking at it was an OG of I can't remember who it was, to be honest with you. It was a jazz artist, but the reissue, the Chad reissue one was like $100, and the OG the guy had was like 80. A different guy had for 80, and it was like, what do you do? Which do you go for? And these were Capital, by the way. The Sergeant Peppers were all U.S. They were all Capital, and that's another thing, right? But anyway, I got a friend that's went to Japan and didn't find any this time, but he didn't go to many shops. So, but the guy was like, and I said, well, the only thing about the OG, you could have a little more surface noise, and what's the true play condition of it, whereas if you're getting an analog production that's in this case it was sealed. I said, you just got a better shot at it. Of course, the tapes aren't as new, so you got to always weigh that out, which way to go on that. But yeah, I mean, and then there's, some of these booths, and I see them every time, and they're selling, they're selling bootlegs or whatever what unofficials, whatever they call them, and there's no indication, to the people that's, what they're getting or what they're sitting in front of. And you just kind of watch people, and it's like buyer beware, I guess, in some cases. But there were, there's that's just one vendor that's always there, and they just got their tubs of probably 60% unofficial, and and yeah, I don't really, the unofficial stuff to me, it's like, I don't know. That's at least in the U.S. That's trouble. You're asking for trouble potentially if you get into enough volume. I don't really because the people involved in it aren't they're not getting paid for anything through that, and it's all pretty much. But I guess in certain other countries, I guess it's totally legit. Some I guess in EU or whatever I heard. So I don't know. I just heard that last week. Somebody was mentioning that it's. I mean, we're not even talking about Russia here. I mean, we're talking about some of the European countries. So yeah, here's Nick. I like this. 2 record shows you did. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, and that's good. Yeah, I think that is cool. Um, because yeah, I mean, you don't. I mean, and you talk about not having any return policy. I mean, a couple of the booths were actual places that have storefronts, so you have that. But um, I would just tell you that it's always, I say buyer beware, but it's always when you buy them, you always have that variable when you go to a record show that people are working out of their garage or out of their van or whatever. Uh, but I noticed at least 4 of the guys that I talked to, and I pretty much talked to everybody that I went in front of, were out from Oklahoma City. One was from Tulsa, and I said, wasn't all just Dallas area people. People came up from San Antonio, Houston, Odessa, West Texas. So, okay, yeah, that's all you got to do. Something simple. Let them listen. Yeah, I like stores that have listening stations. Josie here in Dallas has listening stations, and and so that's an advantage because I'd say half of the time I don't end up buying what I've picked up, but at the same time, honestly, I probably pick up a few more things there, knowing that I can listen to it first. But I, it's a good to me it's a good business model um, if you do that, if you make that available. I prefer that. Kind of like nothing to hide, and so that's what you go for. So yeah, so it was an interesting session. There's one in May in Austin, in early May, first weekend in May. Then this one they have again in October. And I think there's one in Hurst, Texas, which is not too far from Grapevine, where the one was today. Uh, I haven't seen it show up yet, but maybe I don't know when that one's going to be. But that one's, I think, just once a year. And I think it's more in the summer because I remember when I went there one time, I was worried about where I parked to make sure I got like under the garage because I didn't want to be in direct sunlight in case I brought new records to the car. Uh, because I bought enough that I wouldn't want to just lug them around. So, um, but I can tell you, if you were one of those people that have the wheelie carts that go through those places, you would have had trouble today. It wasn't so bad at 8, but as it went on, and 10 o'clock the floodgates opened, just like San Antonio was. When I went to San Antonio, it was like, oh my god, I got really kind of claustrophobic in there actually and had to get out of there. That is, oops, sorry, I missed this one. When Borders was in business, they had listening stations for all new releases. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, they probably, they had demo CDs, which that's the thing, right? He had a cousin that worked at Borders. He was a manager at Border. You've never heard? Yeah. I mean, they have them all over the place around here. Yeah, I'm surprised as much as you're into records, but yeah, I mean, it's a matter of where you live. Well, you're in Wyoming, right? You're Wyoming, Dave, right? So yeah, they Dick Cheney's record no show. Yeah. I Yeah, I mean, Houston has them, San Antonio has them, Austin has them, Dallas has them. I mean, we're, within 5 hours of here, there's a bunch. The nearest to you would be Denver. I'm sure Denver doesn't have them. You don't get down to Texas anymore. Come on down. So Denver, I'm sure has them. There's I know there's an app that has record shows listed on it where you can pick them up. So where are you at in Wyoming? Yeah, it would be Dick Cheney's record store. He'd be putting holes in the records with his gunshot, right? Riverton. Okay. Can't say I've heard of Riverton, Wyoming. can't say I've heard of that one at all. But yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't think I left anything there that I'm walking away from going, I wish I'd have picked that up. I mean, occasionally that happens. I can't, it's funny. How you see stuff sometimes happen. A guy he was doing a transaction with a lady next to me, and he completed it. It was a credit card, did it on his phone or whatever, and they were done. And he hands her back a card, and they're done. And he goes, "Oh, he said, I noticed that was a Disney credit card." And she said, "Oh yeah, we get points on that, and we get stuff at Disney when we go, and I'm really into Disney." And he said, "Oh, I've got this. I wonder if you'd be interested. Do you like Fantasia?" And she's like, "Oh, Fantasia is my favorite." And he had like a 4 LP or 3 LP box set with memorabilia and books and stuff, and it was like $35, and the records were pristine. And I mean, she bought it, on the spot, and it was just kind of interesting the way he picked up on, that she had that card, and he kind of went, "Oh, I wonder if she'd be interested." So there you go. Yeah, Billing. I was wondering about Billings myself, if Billings might have a show. You would think it'd be big enough to do that. You would think, but can't say. But I mean, yeah, down here it's nice having a lot of options. I mean, where I lived before, it would be, Chicago or Indianapolis would be probably the closest. Detroit was like 3 hours, I guess. It wasn't that bad, but Cleveland was too far, and so, but yeah, they're good. Yeah, and that was when I was talking to this lady that wrote this book. There's a Beatles Fest. Now, I used to go to them all the time in different cities: Houston, San Antonio, Chicago, Orlando. I used to go to them in the 80s and 70s a lot. And they only have two now, one in New Jersey, which is in 2 weeks, and then one in Chicago in August. So she's going to be at the one in New Jersey. But so that's those are a lot of fun. I mean, it's a full weekend. They have a Beatles band that plays every night, and you meet a lot of interesting. I met George Harrison's sister, who just passed here recently in Orlando when I went. So I think Tony Sheridan was at one I was at in Houston. So they were. It was funny. Before I met my wife in Houston, we talked, and I guess she had been at one of the Beatles shows before we ever met, kind of thing. It's kind of like strange the way you could have crossed paths with somebody and you end up marrying them. But yeah. So I saw a few Exoduses sealed for like $350. Marley, the UHQR. Couple of Hendrix UHQR, and then some one steps. And the one steps were like 175. I mean, they weren't outrageous, but I mean, like one of them was Paul Simon's. Still crazy after all these years, and I've seen that one new sealed for like 80 because of the DSD thing. So, so you got to know your prices. And one guy had a sealed Doors first The first album, the Bono that they redid, recut, and it had like 3 CDs or 4 CDs and the vinyl in it. And I think he was asking 125 for it because I know those are long gone. But I'm not really into that album to be one to want to spend that kind of money on it. But I saw a lot of the Doors' first album. I just seemed like I saw a ton of those, um, both used and some Rhinos. There were a couple of booths had those in the Rhino ones, and they were calling them imports, Europe imports, and I was kind of like, what? I don't know. There was nothing on it that to me indicated anything that it came from Europe. So I don't know. But so ironically, the guy that sets up this show, he has a store in San Antonio. So he kind of does a little bit of a circuit and has a store. He's a store real close to where my daughter lived. I mean, literally 5 minutes from her house. So guy named Jesse. I met him at his store last year, and another guy that works there, and they pretty much run these things, and it's a good thing. Yeah, this was the '67 debut with "Light My Fire." Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was, and that's the one that ERC came out with now for what $500 or whatever. That's on that like that acetate vinyl. And it's that's the one I guess Mike Esposito reviewed it and said it sounds like crap, and Michael 45 reviewed it and said it sounds fabulous. So I mean, I know that Mike Esposito has heard that album, you know, a lot of variants of it for years, and I think he basically said that the condition of the tapes have gotten so problematic that when you do something like an ERC that's going to be even more accurate reproduction of what's on the tape, then the anomalies in the tape kind of come out even more. So I think so I don't know. I can't judge it one way or the other. I'm not going to buy those kind of records. That's not in my wheelhouse at all. And I certainly can't see somebody trying to polish a turd, so to speak, if the tape is compromised. That doesn't make sense. Where does or have Rhino press their records? Yeah, I don't. That's a good question, Nick. They typically don't press there, but it's a good question. Yeah, they typically press here in the States, but at any given time with manufacturing plant shortages of available time, they may have to go somewhere else just because. But the thing about it, the margins on those are so relatively low. I mean, Rhino doesn't charge a lot for their records they come out with like that. They charge $30 maybe. So it's not, like they got the margins to be going to a higher end plant. Hey, Chilled Pine, how's it going? So they don't have the margin, I wouldn't think, to be using a higher end plant like that, but don't know. But I will bet you, I bet you Mr. Discogs knows. I'll have to look that up. I just don't know. Yeah, the only concern I have about that Lindsey Buckingham, and it's from 2013. It was pressed at GZ. So I heard GZ is better now than it was, let's say some of the stuff in the later, 2018, 2019, 21, 20, I think 22, they started to get better, but that was 2013. So I don't know what their quality was at GZ back then, but I'm going to find out. I mean, certainly that Lindsey Buckingham is still pricey. So but I think it's I don't know that it was released on vinyl anywhere else, but through that European version. So, but yeah, that's a great question, Nick, about Rhino. And I don't know. I saw. It's funny. I saw one vendor who had quite a few albums that on the price sticker it said UK. It said it didn't just say Europe, it just said UK. And then when I looked at the album, there was really nothing about it that I could determine that it was, pressed in the UK or sourced in the UK. So I don't know. Let's see. Heard some news last week that Metallica bought. Yes, they did. I think it was Fire or Furnace or something like that plant. Well, what that investment in vinyl tells you is two things. A, there's some money there, and B, they want to control their destiny. They don't want to not have others tell them when they can, press whatever release they want to press. I think maybe the quality has been, I think the plant they bought though is the one that have been doing a lot of their stuff anyway. But yeah, that kind of caught me off guard a bit. Them buying that plant. Needed some write-offs. That's, I'll use the other the other reason that people sometimes do things, right? But it is a matter of controlling your own destiny a lot, and I think that's a big component when you're outsourcing stuff. Because it's crazy that you look at the. I don't think Chad has released the SACD of Countdown to Ecstasy yet, and the album's been out for quite a few months now, since before I think the first of the year, and so so it's a supply issue, I'm sure, just getting it made. So he doesn't control that part of the production. So these are the variables that are always present, no matter whether you own the pressing plant, you don't own the time, and then the raw materials have been a bit of an issue. I think that's getting better now, but that raw materials had been if you didn't have decent inventory, because the lead times on that, I think, were hurting people. So new Metallica records on the label, Black Ant, sound excellent. Yeah, I had heard that plant they bought, is it Furnace or something like that, that's where the most recent stuff had been pressed. So that's what I had read. That so maybe yeah, they're doing a good job, and maybe they're starting to get caught up in delays or whatever from other places using that, so now they can kind of decide what they're going to work on. And was that in Virginia? I think that plant was in Virginia. I was trying to remember, but I think it was in Virginia. And it the hardest part of running those plants right now is getting workers, getting people, getting decent quality people to want to work. And I mean, it just seems to be in a lot of businesses. It's not just that, but I know that was where Chad was definitely having issues trying to get a third shift running at QRP. I mean, there's only so much resource in Salina, Kansas, for sure. And you tend to cater to a younger crowd with people working in those facilities usually. Now you do have some of the more senior people that have been there a while, and which is great because they know the equipment, and then sometimes that pressing equipment, it's almost like you got to talk to it. Just okay, baby, we're gonna do a good job today, because it's those aren't brand new automated hot off the press kind of machines. Those are ones that have been picked up from other plants and things of that nature. So, um, yeah, I've been a couple of things I've got recently. I was Colombia. I was looking at trying to pick up stuff that was pressed out of the Santa Maria plant because I've been doing some research and they had pretty high marks in terms of quality. So uh, you saw the Doors movie in a theater. You were glad to leave there the next morning. Well, you didn't go see Chad. You didn't go to Acoustic Sounds. Just passing through, I guess, huh? Yeah. I mean, it's a little town, it's not too huge. It's funny that one of the guys I was talking to, he said I think he said his son-in-law is like a district manager for a fast food restaurant called Freddy's Steak Burgers and Custard. And he said he lives in Salina, Kansas. And I said, now that is really funny because when I left Chad's place, I ate at Freddy's in Salina, Kansas. It's just funny how sometimes you got these stories and they start crossing each other. But that was in when? 1994. Was he in 1991? Was he in business? Trying to remember what year he actually put in a storefront. I want to say 94. Maybe not. He may have been working out of his apartment selling records at that point. I'm not sure if he actually had the store yet or had a business yet formally set up or not. That was a long time ago, dude. Wow. You must have just been passing through to have seen a Doors movie there. I'm not sure the world premiere was in Salina, Kansas, right? Yeah. It's it's quaint, Midwestern town, and a long time ago, and I've never been back. Well, I can honestly say I went there only because of visiting Acoustic Sounds and Analog Productions there, because otherwise it wouldn't have crossed my mind to go there. It was, I mean, that was a good 7 hour drive, so it wasn't like it was short. I had to go through Oklahoma to get there, get to Kansas, but it was worth it. Definitely worth it. Trying to get some trips set up in May to a couple of more plants. Uh, one just east of the Rockies and one on the coast of California to do some research, and that's hopefully I can get that booked. I've got just a lot of things in the next 2 months to get done before I do that. But at the show today, one thing I did notice was people setups were, a lot of them said they didn't have any country. They said they didn't even bring any country, which is ironic being in Dallas, Texas, right? I can't tell you how many booths that I heard them say that or saw that they didn't have any. The other thing I noticed is I heard a lot of people asking, there were a lot of jazz inquiries, and I saw probably more jazz there than I normally see. So that's an indication. I think we see it in the VC as well. So just a couple of indicators that just kind of tell you where people's heads are at. And the other thing you start to notice is people gravitate toward either new vinyl or used, and what they look at, and some of the people that when they have it mixed together, new and used, especially ones that have a lot of new and a few used kind of interspersed, and they really act shocked, when they see something that isn't new, and not sure, why they would want to buy it. Hearing the conversations of people. So there's that whole kind of approach that people have related to what they want want to get. And it's funny. I had this happen several times today where like one guy, I heard him talking to the person I was at their booth, and you got any Pat Metheny, sorry, Pat Metheny. As no, I don't have any. I've got some jazz, but I don't have that. And I'll be darned, next 5 booths I went to, I kept running into that artist. And I'm thinking, where's the guy that, was looking for this? Hey, John, how's it going, buddy? How are you? So, today was a pretty good day. And so, those of you who weren't on earlier, this was one of the ones I got that it's I guess it was only released in Europe. Lindsey Buckingham. It's a double LP called Seeds We Sow. It's a red vinyl double album, and they were half off on this place, so I got it for for $50. It was listed at 100. Now the guy that I bought it from, he lives right here where I live in the same city, literally probably a mile from me, and he's got a really unique background. Has worked with artists who've come into town, has been in the music industry, so someone that I can catch up with and get to know. So it's always interesting to see that, Hey, concert buddy, how you doing, Chance? Yeah, I never saw this one either. I really haven't, and I can't wait to play it. So I got a couple of white label promos. Oh, just pull that out. I got a Booker T and the MG's greatest hits on Stax. I know some of you people have seen this. Sorry, but I know we got a few new people on, so I thought I'd. Then I got a promo of Asia on QX vinyl. I don't think it's white label, but well, maybe it is. I don't know. Honestly, I can't remember. After a day of this, no, it's not. But it's got the the Virgin, the QX vinyl, which a lot of promos. Certain time range in the 80s, they had that QX vinyl, so pretty interesting. Found a Barcase white label. Oh, cool. I know who they are. Yeah, that's cool. There you go. What up? Let's see what else was interesting. A couple of these are like blah, 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 Oh, yeah, Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell, Half Speed Master. Hadn't seen that one before, to be honest with you. Got another quadradisc of the Doors, the best of the Doors. It's a great mix. It's different than the standard mix. And then I also got, where's it at? There it is. I also got a stereo one of this, which you can see they took the quadradisc thing and they blanked it out here in the corner. Yeah, they got like a box there. They blanked it out. So this is a stereo version of it. So it's a mix down of the quad because the mix is different on that. And this was 63. This was one of the first albums I ever bought. And then my mom played Frisbee with my records one day. She got pissed at me for something. I don't know what it was, but she was one of the first Frisbee champions of the world. So I got this. This is actually the German version on Brunswick, not the Decca US version. So I couldn't leave that one there. And then I got a couple of Beatles. I got a couple Japanese direct metal master DMMs, monos. I got the Please Please Me and A Hard Day's Night. So I'm really going to be interested to hear how these sound. Got a white label promo of this album, Dave Grusin, Nightlines, one of my top 10 albums to test a system with because of the sonics of it being so good. It's a white label promo on GRP. Great album. Really, really good album. If you like kind of popish jazz, this is a great album to get, believe me. And Let's see. Another one of those. Let's see. I got a couple of monkeys, a couple of later monkey albums. These were $20 for both of them. Has the old Sears stereo. They logoed everything that was stereo so that it jumped out at you, because back then things were mono. So, hey, Quick Spec, how's it going, buddy? Yeah. So, yeah, just seeing old stereo labels, and I got the Buckingham's kind of a drag. I also got a New Colony 6. I've already put it on the table over there to play. And that was a Chicago band on a Chicago label. And then big one was Half Speed Master of Deja Vu. Paid $100 for that one. So didn't have that one. Can't have them all. You know how that is, right? So that's good. Met a local lady that wrote this book, Beatlemaniac, the Diary of a Beatlemaniac. So this lady, she ran a fan club in the U.S. and saw them perform 3 different times, and she's got a lot of memorabilia, So she lives here in the area, and so I'm going to be interviewing her to kind of get her story. So that was nice, interesting, kind of little extra. So it was a lot of activity. I didn't get the number. I'm going to try to find out the number from Jesse, how many people came through, because it was packed. It's only a 1-day show, so it's not like you have the build up like you do with like Austin. So yeah. So thanks to Walrus. Yeah. It was a good, it was good. Like I said, you go and then you think you're going to find XYZ, or you're looking for XYZ, and you usually don't buy XYZ. You might find Z, but then you end up finding, other stuff that you hadn't thought about or planned to buy, and it's crazy. There's just a lot of stories, right? I mean, there's a lot of stories people have with what they have and what they're looking for and why they're looking for it. And but there were boots. One thing, I saw a couple of boots that had like the technique of everything was 50% off. So you think, well, maybe their stuff's marked up a little bit. And some of it was, but I mean, it wasn't really outrageous. Like at Lindsey Buckingham, you look that up, and it's, I think 150 is the lowest on Discogs for that, and it's gone for two to 300. So so I thought, even if I don't like it, if I sell it, I'll probably definitely at least make, well, I paid 50, so I'll definitely make what I got on it. But I like Lindsey Buckingham. I want to. Wyoming Dave, there he is. How you doing, Wyoming Dave? Hey, buddy.
Oh, hey, I was muting the other thing. Well, I'm good.
Good to see you. What's going on in Wyoming?
I got it muted. Okay.
Okay. All I can hear is you.
Hey, I know I don't want you to interrupt your show. I've seen on StreamYard that there's a way you can put your avatar when you leave. I'll have to test that sometime.
Really? Okay.
I don't know how to do it, so I'll have to.
You mean after you when you say it? What do you mean when you're done? What do you mean?
Like when I was it Stop Cam?
Oh, there it's got got you. It's got you on there.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's got you. Looks just like you. It's just you're not moving as much,
Yeah. I got this StreamYard figured out anyway for this end.
Yeah, well, I just used the free one, but you can do more, of course, with the other one. Yeah, the paid for. At some point, they're probably going to do that. I mean, I don't know how long it'll be free, but it's really nice to have. Let's see what we got here. Clock Readers are growing up with the Beatles, a book of the 70s. Yeah, there are only about 7 or 8 Beatles books as opposed to 10,000 written. So you're right. Yeah, I've got some of those early Beatles books myself. Yeah. Everyone have a good St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I mean,
It
I
was okay.
stayed high and dry. I mean,
Yeah.
high.
Okay.
What do you got? Oh,
Well,
that's the quad.
that's clock
Okay.
where it says right.
Oh yeah. Okay. I've got that one too. Yeah.
I
That
think it's
one.
not, I
Yeah.
think it
That.
sounds great. It sounds
Yeah.
great on my 2 speaker system.
Well, yeah. Well, I
It's
mean,
tuned too.
SQ was made. It's a matrix stereo, so you're not missing anything.
It sounds like it's a surrounds sound on 2 speakers. It's neat.
Well, you're getting. Yeah. It's a phasing thing. There's a little bit of
Yeah.
out of phase that's in there, and that's how that really was. That's how they did that. And then when you have the decoder, it does some subtraction out of that phasing and puts it back to the back channel.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, so but yeah, they did that one in Full Sail, I think, on the quad.
That's cool, man. Yeah.
But I actually saw a guy today in his the way he had it organized. He had all his quad albums under Q, which was nice because I went there and I'm like, oh, they're all together. That was because usually it's like, with the band and then you got one here and one there, and they were all
Cool.
together. Unfortunately, I think I had all of them, but
Cool, man.
but
I don't come across quad albums that run thrift shops too often
no.
or whatever.
If you ever run across the Dark Side of the Moon, that's a great one.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That's I mean, it was made in quad. I mean, it was first mastered in quad and then mixed down to stereo, actually.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. Parsons did that in quad right out of the gate because it was right when quad was taken off. So what do we got here? Got 3/4 of the way through a breakfast pint before I realized it was 13%. Still finished it though. Okay. Yeah, you're a trooper,
Hey, David, I know here's a
Yeah.
it's a Nautilus Super Disc.
Yep. And I've got that, and I got a DBX one of that.
Yeah.
DBX encoded. You got to have a DBX encoder for that. And it sounds even better than that one, but that one sounds fabulous.
I found this one.
There you go. Is that Rita Coolidge? No,
Melissa Manchester.
Melissa Manchester. Yep.
Well, she's okay, but those half-speed mastered albums are neat to find. That's all.
Yeah, but DBX, you really got to have that, Yeah, I've got the Who Are You with a DBX.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I just ran across that. I just realized I had that today. Yeah, I've got about 12 or so of the DBX ones. They were just they were fabulous.
I also have what's his name? John. I can't pronounce French. John Caljar, the keyboard player. You heard of him?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Two of those mobile fidelity Anadisc from the mid '90s. Two. Those sound good.
Don't start talking food. I'm hungry, guys. Get out to a Whataburger. Yeah. Nautilus, really, I liked a lot of their stuff. I've got quite a few Nautiluses.
Very cool.
Yeah, there was another brand I saw today it was called Super Vinyl that had a little silver sticker called Super Vinyl. I saw in 2 or 3 different booths, and
cool. What record company?
I'm trying to think of what record. A couple of them were records that I wouldn't have been interested in, but they were pricey. They were like $150. So apparently they're very. Oh, this is a good one too. The Police. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's a great super disc. Now I saw a super disc of Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road today for $75, which isn't bad, and that is a great sounding. That's the best sounding Goodbye Yellow Brick Road that I know of, and I was surprised it was still there. Have I ever visited NTX? Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, if you go on my channel, I have 2 interviews with G.I. Sanders, the owner. So yeah, I've been to all 3 of his stores, and I know G.I. very well. He's a good guy, and he does Whatnots now, and Yeah, he's got quite a little business going. Yeah, I got my Alanis Morissette Jagged Little Pill clear vinyl at his place here a few months ago.
Oh, you like Alanis? Cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's not. Yeah.
yeah. That was one that I didn't have, and then finding a clear one was even better. So
Her album from Jag. Did you say Jagged Little Pill?
Jagged Little Pill, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
some of the songs. from the
Excuse me.
album.
I'll never forget when I saw the video for that one song. She's walking naked. I mean, it was like, what the?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Exactly.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Yeah. Yellow Brick Road, but the good pressings are not cheap. Well, the one today, like I said, it was $75, and I mean, I was shocked it wasn't sold because I mean, I honestly hadn't looked it up on Discogs, but I know when I looked mine up not long ago, it was a lot more than that. So I've actually got a 12-inch of Love Lies Bleeding, that first long track. I've got a 12-inch of just that on 45 RPM, and it sounds fabulous.
By who?
By Elton John.
Oh, I was
That first song,
I was paying
the first
attention.
song on Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a promo. Yeah. Yeah, great artist on her album. Yeah. Yeah, I was really stoked to get that. I mean, I think it was only like $28. It was unbelievably cheap. But yeah, GI is a good guy. NTX is good. There you go.
We got one Ghost in the
Yep.
Machine on.
Yeah, Ghost in the Machine.
Nautilus. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a Nautilus. Yep. Those are good.
My opinion, it sounds fine, but some people.
Yeah. No, I think Nautilus did a pretty commendable job on most things. I actually have, and if I don't know if Concert Buddy's still on here, but he's going to he's going to give me crap, but I got these. These are test pressings from Nautilus of Styx Cornerstone.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
Dennis DeYoung sent these to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, these are test pressings. So he gives me shit when that's just a standard one.
I had that album once. I got rid of it. Shoot, I don't know why.
These are really good too. If you ever see them, they're a Canadian audiophile series.
Gem.
Yeah. Well, Gem is the distributor that sent them from Japan to the U.S., but these are Canada. These were made in Canada. Cool. And they also have it with the gold. You see that gold?
Excuse me.
Right there.
Oh yeah, audiophile series.
So A&M Records, they sold these out of Canada. So these were made in the same method that MoFis were made. JVC super vinyl cut in Japan. So when they were making the early MoFis, they were making these in Canada. And these are a lot cheaper than MoFi. Matter of fact, this one you can't even get on MoFi.
Really? Oh, yeah.
And I think this one you can't get on MoFi either. But these are what I call Canadian MoFis. And anything on A&M, they have these on. And if you go on Discogs, look up the audiophile series, they'll list all the records they have in this format.
Supertramp, cool.
Yeah, yeah. These are 2 Supertramps. They did anything on A&M back then, they did. And those are fabulous. Yeah, those are fabulous. Let's see. How often do you see audiophile vinyls in less than near mint condition? Yeah, that's usually that's a good point. Clock Radio. It is a good point that usually they are more well taken care of, which makes sense. You paid more money for them. That's why I said this Crosby, Stills, Nash was in a collection that I would never have expected to find a original master record, a MoFi. Never would have guessed. You need to get well, dude. You always
got a frog in my throat. That's all.
Well, you got a frog in your throat. Yeah. Okay. That's what Miss Piggy said too. Hey, thought I was gone with the Schwinn there. Yeah.
Kermit.
Hey. Drummer from Foo Fighters was on. Okay, yeah, maybe so. Gold border one, super vinyl. Yep. Yeah, they have the gold border one, and then they have the gold stamp. They just had 2 releases of them. I think the gold stamp was first, and then they put the border on it to make it more obvious. But they're yeah, those are good. I pick those up whenever I can, anytime I see them. The Breakfast in America is really good on that cut.
If I come across any MFSL, older MFSL or NOS ones, I pick them up just because they're kind of hard to find. Older
Yeah,
ones.
exactly. Yeah. No, yeah. Yep. No, it's exactly true. Yeah, I'm almost kicking. Yeah, the only one I'm kicking myself a little bit is on that Elton John Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. I should have. I mean, I've got one, but I just you don't see that one very much.
Oh yeah.
I think that even in the quietest moments, is that what you meant? Probably. I
Probably.
don't know if you meant quietest moments, even in the quietest moments. Yeah, but it is. Yeah. So those are. I'm trying to think of who else. The Police. They had Police. They had. I know Carpenters. They had. Chuck Mangione, Herb Alpert. I mean, they released quite a few of those, but they were all pretty much
Yeah.
A&M. But I will tell you, there was a series of a lot of A&M records in the early '80s were on Virgin vinyl. If you hold them up to the light,
Oh yeah.
Carpenter, Sergio Mendes, Herb Alpert. You know, they were a lot of A&M records were on Virgin vinyl. A lot of them. Yeah. Yeah. So you know, hold them up to the light, see if you can see the light through them, because that's the
One of those one of those maybe it's the police one or the Donald Fagen one says you can hold it up to the light too and see through.
the Mobile Fidelities and the Nautiluses should be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these were the ones I was just talking about were actually
A&M, yeah.
the standard album came out. Police Synchronicity, there's like a bluish, a purplish, and a brownish
I
if
read
you
about
hold it
those.
up to the light. Yeah, they're almost all translucent.
I
Yeah,
read about those.
yeah, yeah. I've got quite a few of those as well. So, and that's like Queex. That's the same kind of vinyl as although Queex is not quite as transparent.
I read about those QX2 ones. I
Yeah.
don't come across.
Yeah, I got that Asia one today. I
Asia
got
one.
I got the Asia one.
That's a pretty
That
good
was
album. I
promo.
don't have. I've heard
Yeah.
it.
Which one? You're the Cat Mo-Fi is a good one to get.
Oh, just a second.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
Wow. About 30. That's a good price. $32 there. You're the Cat, he said.
I
Yeah.
found this.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
It sounds. Otherwise, I don't know if I'd bother with Alistair, but I don't know. He's okay, I guess.
Yeah. He has a pretty distinctive voice, but yeah, I got Teaser and the Fire Cat by Cat Stevens on MoFi, and it really is good. Oh, and I mean the OG of it is really good as well. So it's just a little quieter, but I mean, but his acoustic guitar, man, you could hear the pick on that and feel it almost.
Cat Stevens, too
Yeah,
bad. Musician.
yeah, yeah. I got that at this same record show last year. I remember I had to negotiate with the guy a little bit, but I think he wanted 175, and I think I paid 140 for it. But you know, there's only so many people who are going to buy those, if you know what I mean. You know, I mean, there's when you get into those kind of dollars. So
Yeah, that's true.
you know, so usually people are. But I did notice more and more people there had like a collectibles area or an audiophile area where you just had those records. So it made it a little bit easier to search those out. But
John Batty's Double Davids.
you probably paid too much for it though. Okay. Yeah. Well, hey John, how's it going, Mr. Bandy? How are you? Well, I'll tell you what, quick spec, what you saved on the Al Stewart, you paid on the Teaser and the Firecat. So there you go. Yeah, Double Davids. Yeah, right. Double D's. Where is Daisy Duke when you need her? Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So Yeah. But it's really strange when you go to something like this now and people recognize you and go, I know your channel or something. It's like, oh, crap. That's good, John. I'm glad to see you hanging around. Oh yeah. Okay. Kenny
He
log
logged
in.
in CBS
Yep.
Half Speed Master.
Now all the CBS half speed masters had a digital step. There's paperwork in there that tells you that.
There is, yeah. There's a.
There's
I'm
a
sure I
sheet.
kept it.
There's a sheet that tells you that.
Yeah, I haven't really read. I probably read it once.
Right.
Yeah.
You read it once, huh?
Well, yeah.
You trying to say once was enough?
No. Just need to take the time to, read.
Well, here's my prized one.
Oh, cool. Wish you were here.
Wish you were here.
Has to be mastered.
For the grand price of $13.49 when I bought it.
It sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that one sounds good. Very good, as a matter of fact.
Hey, David. Speaking of Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Well, I at the moment don't have any Pink Floyd albums, but they say that that heartbeat at the beginning of Dark Side of the Moon is supposed to. Someone. I have a relative that told me that's a good test for equipment, record players, or.
Well, it's a good. I mean, it's a good for your bass. I mean, it's a good, for the bass. It's a good.
Well, I don't know what.
It's good for that, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, the heartbeat at the beginning and the end. Side one, side two.
Yeah. But really, I think the best press for the money is this EMI. It's called EMI. Wrong way here.
Mm-hmm. Harvest.
EMI Pro Use. Right there's the logo for it. Pro Use Series. EMI Toshiba is what it's called. Cool. Yeah, these go for about 120, but they're almost as good as the UK the -2-3. I mean, these are really, really good. And I've got, a lot of people don't like this one, but I think it sounds pretty good. The Mobile Fidelity.
Yeah, if I found it, I'd
the original. Yeah, that one was $16.95 also. Yeah, so I keep all of my audiophile. I kind of keep together because keep them away from my. Oh yeah, this was I did a just got a half speed master on this one too.
Thriller. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Thriller, which actually the US OG beat that one. So. And it beat it actually beat the one step.
Oh, that Thriller that came out a few months ago that people have been talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people show that. I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
UHQR.
How long am I going to be on? All right, buddy. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know. I never know how long I'm going to be on. I just get on and just see where things go.
Purpose King.
Yeah. He's got an SMB. Okay, yeah. CD. I wish you were here. Okay. That's that higher bit. I guess 24-bit, which I think they called HD CD here in the US, but those are a little higher sampling rates of it. Let me see here, buddy, on the wish you were here.
John Bandy's asking, yes.
That sounds right. 33,453. HC 33. Mine's 33,453. Was that a typo? Yeah, I know what you were asking about.
Talking to me or John?
No, he's talking to me. I know. Okay. He's talking about this one because there were two presses on this one, I think, if I remember right. There were two releases, and there was something something on one of them, and I can't remember what the issue was. Maybe that's what John's going to tell me. I'm going to double check on the actual album. Yeah, 33, 453. Because I think they did release this. They did a second release, and I don't. Seems to me they found some kind of issue somewhere or something. I can't remember what it was though off the top of my head. But mine's a 33, 453. Okay. It's that's it. The RIAA curve. Yeah. That was, and I've not heard what how profound the distinction is, I guess I'll say, between them. I don't know off the top of my head, at least. But that was, I read that happened. Okay. 43, some better. Well, funny enough, I never see that one anywhere. So, yeah, I read there was something off. I couldn't remember what it was, but, yeah. So I'm sure I got it when I first saw it. So yeah, you've never seen one either. Okay. I don't feel so bad. I don't feel so bad.
Yeah, David, when I'm from Nebraska, the western side, and there's no record shows near me on the western Nebraska either. And I just
really,
one time I ever got to Denver was visit relatives with my folks, and I think Denver has a record show like in March or April. Never got there that time of month.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting just even to crowd watch, just even just to listen to people, what they're looking for, the stories or, whatever. It's really interesting. And there's certain guys, I know from there that I've seen, year after year after year, and then some of them, I think they're just, they just get into it for a while. And, so let's see what he say here. I've had folks that I trust say they have one, so it exists. Yeah, to be honest, back then, if they, they weren't, say broadcasting that they had an issue, that's for sure. Because I was buying these at, high-end audio shops. So, I would have, I think I would have heard, maybe they just pressed more, put a new catalog number on it and just, said nothing. Maybe that's where MoFi learned it from. Anyway, sorry, couldn't help it. Just change it and don't tell anybody. Hi, Malia. How are you? It's old fart radio here.
Yeah. I'm over 50 years old, so
I'm over 60, so it's kind of like but yeah, we experienced things other people didn't. So you have the UK A5B6. I wish you were here. Okay.
Oh, cool.
You know how we're never satisfied. Yeah, I know. Said, yeah, a friend of mine was in Japan this past week, and I'd been in the UK 2 weeks ago, and I said, man, I could hardly find any UK records actually there. And he said, yeah, they're all in Japan. he said, you got to go to Japan to find UK records. I'm like, okay. All right. I'm gonna put that. So yeah, it's, I guess, a lot. They must have bought up a lot of that stuff because it's certainly. And the guy at the stores in the UK said as soon as they get them in, they're gone. They're gone. Really? Here's a shirt I got at Third Man Records in London. Your turntable's not dead. So it's got like
Not sure.
ghost shit on it. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I went to
Cool.
Third Man Records in London.
I never come across. Well, I probably have to go to a big used record store. I don't come across. I have two Canadian pressings, one Canadian pressing of an album, but I don't find UK pressings in this state ever.
No, it's not that. That's
Yeah.
always got a nose in the dead wax. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I had a guy today. I was looking at a couple of records he had, and they weren't records that I needed, but I just was curious. He had a Brothers in Arms, Dire Straits, and so I looked at it, and I said, "Yeah, these are RL, masters, and they sound much better than some of the other ones that were done." And he didn't know it. And then what else did he have? Oh yeah, he had the Steely Dan Greatest Hits, and they were RL masters as well.
What's RL
So,
mean?
Robert Ludwig.
Oh,
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Robert Ludwig. So I'm like, yeah, these are better, the best version of that album. Because not all of the pressings are his masters on those. Yeah, this shirt was, I couldn't pass it up. Yeah, sure. Yeah, it actually has some stuff on the sleeves, and it's got Third Man Records here on the sleeve. And in the UK, I guess you got to have long sleeve stuff. And it's a kind of heavier shirt too. So
you heard of this Bernie Grundman?
yeah, right, Bernie Grundman. Yep.
I just bought this at Walmart.
Oh, okay.
It's a craft.
Natalie Cole.
It's a craft. Bernie. It's a craft.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Bernie. Yeah,
Bernie
yep.
Grundman named at the bottom.
Yep, right.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. He's he does good work.
I haven't listened to it yet, but I will pretty soon.
John, I don't know if you're familiar with the German. I'm familiar with the German quad pressing. I have that one, and it's pretty damn good. Patrick had a hell of a lot. I'm sorry I missed it. Yeah,
I picked on an auction in a few seconds. I don't like trying to bid on stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he's asking, is it the 1C German? Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Chilled Pint.
There's Novus Nick. Hey, Novus, how you doing, buddy? We had a good talk last night. He was on with me. Yeah. Yeah, we were chatting about life as we get older. And yeah, he's got a hell of a system. We were talking about what he has. He has a hell of a system.
Oh, I seen you had another show a few days ago.
Yeah.
I guess I missed that one.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't. I saw maybe one. I think I saw only one wall today, and it was $50, but it had all the inserts. And I only saw a couple Dark Side of the Moons. I mean, not the new one, used ones. Some people were selling the 2016 remaster, which is decent for the money. I mean, it is decent.
Sure.
What do you like? Yeah. The only German one I have of that is the quad of Dark Side of the Moon.
Cool.
And that's one of my never sell records. I've got certain records I flag never sell. For sure. Yeah, that one's a lot of, I should be getting my 50th anniversary. I don't know what date that comes out, that Dark Side box. I did order it.
Oh, cool. I'm
Just
paying attention.
Yeah.
Who do you like best?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say I like it best, the quad from, the way it's mastered. I'd say it's not, it's a little bit of apples to oranges, but it's done very well. But I mean, I like my Pro Use EMI Toshiba one best for stereo. But I mean, I'll play the quad one quite a bit because I like the effects, that are in it. So, but I mean, I'm not going to say it's in the upper echelon of the quality of the sound. It's really strong, but it's not as pristine. You're the only person I know that ordered. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I was able to use a couple of coupons on it. So I got like 40% off. So
Nice.
my intentions were only just because of that. A lot of people are not. And the Pro Use EMI. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, I think I didn't put it up. Yeah. Called Pro Use series up here. It looks like a QR code now.
Yeah, it does.
But it says Pro Use series. So, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a very good sound. Very good sounding for the money. I mean, when you look at buying them even used, they're not outrageous. Not outrageous. So I'm the only person. Okay, well, I'll be the only person doing a review on it then.
You're showing problem.
Yeah, because I mean, I know everybody's kind of looked at it and said, well, what's in there that's new, or what's, is anything that's, and I don't have any of I don't have any of the previous ones. So that's why I got it. To be honest, that's why I got it. But yeah, I've been buying a few more box sets just because I missed out on so many. So, but we'll see.
I have
Third UK.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, well, I'd say the quad sounds somewhat three-dimensional even in stereo. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So, because I mean, I think I told you this earlier. It was mixed to quad originally. Parsons did that, and then they mixed it down to stereo, as opposed to doing it differently. So the mix doesn't sound different. Like a lot of them, they sound different because they did different takes a lot of times for quad, but this was mixed down from quad to stereo.
I have a price guide, but was there a quad version of Wish You Were Here too? I think I read someplace. My price. I have to look at my price guide book. I mean, whether you have it, that's not.
Where's my quads? Oh, here they are. I don't honestly remember. It's as soon as you asked me, I was scratching my head.
I have a Goldmine price guide that says one of Pink Floyd's was released quad in the U.S.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah, I thought I did, but I couldn't remember, to be honest with you.
That sounds neat.
And there were some records that were in quad and you didn't even know it.
Really?
Like Nectar, the band Nectar.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Theirs were quad, but it just said on the back it was QS. It didn't have the normal big logo or anything. And they're kind of like a synth pop kind of stuff.
They were art rock band, I think, or something.
Yeah. Yeah, here's my Dark Side quad.
Cool.
And then the
That-
ones that I really like are the Steely Dan's quads.
Oh yeah, cool.
Command quadraphonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read they sometimes remixed the quad.
Oh yeah. No, they were
did,
they were different mixes
Mixes.
actually is what they were.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The regular version.
Yeah, you hear some definite differences in them. There's no doubt. And that's the case with a lot of them. The other one that you know, I got a lot of Eagles quads. This was one that I was looking for. The grassroots greatest hits in quad.
Cool. You got.
I was looking for. I was in Indianapolis, or no, I was in Lafayette, Indiana, and I was looking for this, and I found they had a quad section. So I'm looking in this quad section, and it's not in there, of course. And I don't know, it's really strange. I don't usually do this, but I went around to the other side, and on the bottom there were like tubs, of records down there.
Mhm.
And one of the tubs, I looked down and it said Grassroots, and they looked like they had about 10 albums in that bunch. So I leaned down there, and this thing was in there. The quad version was in just their regular stuff.
Yeah,
it wasn't in. Yeah.
Collection.
Yeah, so
Cool.
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I really. Have you ever heard this one, The Doors in quad?
Not me personally.
The mixes are really different here, but they
I
sound
have not.
fabulous.
I have not. No.
Oh, this is I got several of these.
Yeah, I seen you show that one.
I bought one today. Yeah, I buy. I think I need to send you one. I need to send you one of those. I'll have you email me your address, and I'll send you one of those. Yep. Yeah. Or give me email me, David at safeandsoundtexas.com. Send me your address, and I will send you one.
Can I put it in how do I private chat?
Oh yeah. If private chat's up, go ahead. I don't know.
Chat with everyone in the studio. I don't know how this private chat works. Does it go to you?
If it should, but I don't see private chat on mine. I just see the regular chat.
Well, if this is where I can send a message.
I know on Rachel's she has a private chat.
I don't know.
But I think I thought that was here it is, private chat. I see it. Yeah, send it there. That's fine. Yeah, you got to click on a button there. I see it. Got it, buddy. Yeah, I'll send you one of those.
Well, that's nice of you, David.
Yeah, no problem. No, I'd love to share the love. You like quad, and I've got extras of that, so that's cool.
I've only heard one quad album, but I think they sound neat anyway.
Yeah, no, they do. They do, definitely. Cool. Now I got to get the regular chat back up. Where did the regular chat? There it is. Comments. They call it comments. They don't call it chat.
I figured that out.
Okay. Okay.
I'm on this. Especially about the grassroots. Oh, John's asking.
Yeah, they were. Well, I wanted it because I have a quad system. So I actually have a Pioneer QX949 that decodes SQ, QS, and CD4, and I got a 4-speaker setup. So I can actually listen to it in quad. But the mixes are a little different as well, which I always like that about it too. So almost all of the ABC, the command quadraphonic ones, have different mixes than the stereo version. What did
David, have you ever had a 4-speaker quad setup, or do you have?
Yeah, that's what I have right now.
Oh, yeah, you do have one. Okay,
I do have it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
I accidentally blocked Novus Nick for 5 minutes. That was an error on my part, Novus Nick. I'm sorry. I didn't intend to do that at all. I hit a button, and that wasn't what I wanted to do. I'm sorry. So if you chat, I won't see it. I wish it had an undo button here, but I don't see one. So as a musician, the quads appeal to me because I can hear different parts. Yes, exactly. And that's why I buy SACDs, also multi-channel SACDs. I've got an Oppo Blu-ray that decodes everything, anything and everything, DVD, audio, and any kind of multi-channel. It decodes them.
Yeah, I've seen SACD. I might have one. I don't know.
Well, there's SACD and there's multi-channel SACD. There's multi-channel Blu-ray. There's multi-channel DVD audio, which is
There's so
defunct
many music
now.
CDs. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Another format I'll ever compact 33 or jukebox 33 records. Yeah, I had a Beatles one up the other day of that.
Time to knock about Novus. Yeah, Paul.
Poor Novus, Nick. I really did not intend to do that. Yeah, I've got some Chicago 30, they're 45s, but they have multiple songs. They're called EPs, usually extended plays.
Yeah, I have some Elvis Presley EPs.
How many quads do I have? About 150, I'd say.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was buying them when they were, they were popular. Yeah. Well, this time I kicked his ass off. Unfortunately, it was really not a. Oh man, I knew when I clicked. I'm like, I was over on the right side by these triple dots, and I'm like, I touched my keyboard, and oh well, we're all gonna give him hell when he comes back. That's just.
No, he's gonna
we love you, Nick. We love you, Nick. You're just a victim of my poor keyboarding at this point. Where are those little EPs I have? Let me grab them. Hang on a second.
Yeah, extended play 45s. Mm-hmm. Hey, you guys. I've never heard any reel-to-reels before John Bandy. I know you're talking to him. Yeah, back in the late 50s, they made deluxe, but didn't play 45s too.
Yeah, sometimes these were also used in jukeboxes because you would get multiple.
More than two songs.
Tracks. Right. Yeah. As a matter of fact, that's what this one is. These are actually what they had in the jukebox.
Mm-hmm.
It would say Chicago 8. It would say
Lifesaver. Yeah.
Yeah, it had multiple songs on it. So these are the little strips that they used to put in the jukebox thing when you'd flip it. When you're sitting at your table at the restaurant or whatever, these are the little strips that were in there. This one, I guess,
from the 70s. Right?
Yeah, this one I guess I didn't even open this one. It's sealed still. Ugh. Okay. What else do I have like that?
I want to show you something. I'll be right back.
Sure. Got a nice Alan Parsons 7-inch.
Just a second.
Yeah. Single edits, turn of the friendly car record store day. Forgot about this stuff. Jethro Tull Christmas 7-inch. Jethro Tull Living in the Past EP. Pink Floyd. Arnold Lane Sid Barrett tribute. Instant Karma by Lennon. Forgot I had these. Santana. Buku. Couple of Star Wars. This is one I really like. It's a 10-inch Tears for Fears that has My Girls on one side and then Ready to Start and When I Was a Boy from School on side 2. It's a rare Tears for Fears 10-inch. And then I got a 4-song 10-inch of Petula Clark Downtown, I Know a Place, My Love, and Don't Sleep in the Subway. And then Foreigner, The Flame Still Burns by Foreigner. So those are different.
I have to replay that. I missed some stuff you showed.
Yeah. Tears for Fears.
Pictures.
It's a 10-inch
Oh, cool.
EP. 3
Nice.
songs that weren't on any other record, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
Pat
Boone.
Oh, it has two songs on each side. Hard to show you.
Oh, Dot. Okay, like an EP. Yeah.
There's 2 songs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know how to stop cam. Come back.
It's okay. Yeah, I showed I was a DJ. Yes, I was a DJ. Yes. Yeah, I have about probably 50 promos. I'd say about 50 or so promos. Dot label is cool. Yeah. That's Lawrence Welk was on Dot. Lawrence Welk was big on Dot Records.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sugar Shack by Jimmy Kilmer. That was on Dot Records.
I got that 45.
Yeah. Nice. Petula was great. Yeah. Petula was great. I loved her. Yeah. She was one of the favorites on the Ed Sullivan Show. He had her on a lot.
Pat Clark.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. She was very popular. You know, her arranger, Wilbur Hatch, he was a great arranger. I mean, he really, the musicianship behind her was really strong when you really listen to it.
I thought his name was something. Wilbur was his name?
Hatch.
Yeah, I thought his first name was something different. Sorry. Not trying to correct you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Hey, if I
don't think it was Wilbur. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, you may be right. I don't know why I think
it's not Wilbur, but it's something else.
I'll send you my ship. What is that about? You going to send me your shipping address because you got kicked off or what? Sorry about that, Nick. That was an accident. It was an accident.
Yeah.
I really didn't mean to do it. Now you got me doubting myself, so I'm gonna go look because I'm just curious because that name stuck in my head, and Petula Clark.
It's not.
She had a lot of hits.
She did.
Gosh, dang it. There's Downtown. Okay, so that would
actually you're looking it up. Okay. It's some John Hatch Trenton. What is it? I don't think it's
not Tony, is it?
Oh, Tony Hatch. Maybe that's it.
It is Tony Hatch. Yeah, okay. It is Tony Hatch.
I knew it wasn't Wilbur.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because that's I'm thinking of Mr. Ed. No, that's oh, gee, Wilbur. Tony Hatch. That was the guy. Okay. Hello, Jason Rojas. How are you, buddy? Petula was on Warner Brother Records. She was on Pi in the UK.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And she was in Warner Brothers. She made a lot of money for Warner Brothers Records. That's for damn sure.
Mm-hmm.
She, I remember when Downtown came out, that was such a huge hit. Well, so did the Association. Made a lot of money for Warner Brothers too. Yeah. Wendy was a big hit in '66. That was a really big hit.
I got 4 Association albums.
Yeah.
I like them.
You Feel the Love. Okay, Nick. Yeah. Yeah. Tony Hatch was British. That's a good thing. Yeah. I don't know why I'm confusing it. There's somebody that is Wilbur, somebody that is an arranger. I just got my wires crossed a bit, I'm sure.
No problem.
No, even when I said it, I was like, I paused. It was like, I'm going to say this, but it just didn't. When you said it didn't, I said, I don't disagree with you. I think
he wrote a lot of her songs.
Yeah. Now there's a guy that was an arranger though, yeah. Well, a lot of those guys they did a lot. you know, about. They did a lot to producers and that to really make the artist who they are. KWRD. Okay, where was I going here? Told David to have to borrow his shirt. Oh yeah, yeah. So you were the Mike Esposito of the buyers today, John Bandy, like on Mazzi's where Mike Esposito bid on everything and won, and everybody was.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, Jason, this is a shirt I got at Third Man Records in the UK. Your turntable is not dead.
Mm.
Yeah, this thing was on sale for $32, which wasn't too bad. I mean, it's a nice thick. It'd be good in Wyoming. You could use it. It's got
Exactly.
skulls.
Yeah.
So it's so.
Glad winter's
So,
not
yeah.
over.
Yeah, right, exactly. So,
We had a friggin' closed January. Jeez.
yeah, a vinyl fever trance. Does Patrick keep those auctions up, or does he take them down? The video of it. Sometimes I like to watch them.
He might keep them up. You'd have to go to his channel sometime.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jason. Yeah, it is an amazing shirt. I love it. It's very unique. I'm really glad I bought it. They are up. Okay, I'll have to watch. I'll have to watch it just for his stuff's usually really good in terms of grading and stuff. So I mean,
he plays some of them on an earlier stream yesterday or today.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Too.
Yeah, and I mean, my experience is pricing's not bad really for the quality you're getting.
Yeah,
from what I've seen at least. But
I'm just a cheapskate, I guess.
Well, you know, it's like, you know, like going to the show today. It's like, you know, it's like, what do you really need? You know, I mean, if you say that's the thing.
That's like antique models will price some records high too.
Oh, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a antique mall in Tennessee that has Facebook and YouTube streaming auctions 3 and 4 times a week. And I find his prices to be really high.
Yeah.
But he'll get 200 people on that stream and they're bidding like crazy.
Wildfire.
It drives me nuts. Yeah. Which I'm not sure which album he's talking about.
I'd have to go back.
I said WGO. What do you mean there, Jason? Maybe I just caught you off. Yeah. Cassettes are a whole. I've got an Advent cassette deck from back in the 70s. Still plays pretty well.
I can't believe I used to buy pre-recorded cassette tapes when I was a teenager too.
Oh, there was a quad Marvin Gaye. Okay.
What's going on?
Yeah. I would have probably been looking at that one myself. The DFW record show was good. What's going on? Okay, sorry, I didn't. So he had a quad of what's going on. That would be pretty unique. It was good. I got. I've shown him a couple times. It'll be it's at the beginning of the stream when I end it. You can see it. Quad Marvin Gaye. You don't like the one-step cutting? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've got some cassettes, but I don't honestly, even though I got a player, I don't play them.
CDs and records sound better than the old cassette tapes for sure.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
I got rid of all of them.
yeah. It's just that, back in the day, unless you had a higher end record player or turntable, then, some of the records that would wear pretty badly. And so, when you put them on cassette, you could record them yourself, then you could have you could preserve it, right?
Yeah, right.
So that, and plus you make mixtapes, you could have like a radio station where you played songs back to back to back. That was big.
I never did that.
You never did that. I did that a lot.
Well, okay.
Oh yeah, I did see Japanese pressing quad. Yeah. Inner groove distortion. No inner groove distortion. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I noticed on this Lindsey Buckingham. It's a 2 LP and there's huge dead wax areas. So damn, Patrick off a quad. What did it go for? What did that quad go for? I'm really curious. I'm just curious because I wondered if I had been watching, would I have been in the bidding, because I don't really know what that goes for. I've never seen that in the wild. Yeah, there were quite a few unique Japanese quads.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I've got, I think, a Jackson 5 quad, and those mixes are really different.
So there are some Japanese pressings that weren't available here on Quad.
You're right. Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
cool. I didn't realize that. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys know some stuff about foreign pressings that I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Jason will let John tell me. Okay. 165. I knew it was over 100. Okay. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone that high personally, just because it's a good album, but it's not, too rich for my blood. Yeah. Well, Patrick, I wonder how Patrick did he happen to mention how he got hold of that? If it came, how he, or if he just had it a long time or what? That's a ton load for a quad. Wow, it is. It is. I've never paid anywhere near that for a quad record. Of course, probably 95% of the ones I have I bought when they came out, so it's a little disingenuous. I don't even know what they're worth, to be honest. I've never looked, and I'll tell you why, because I never intend to sell them.
Mm-hmm. So it's worth whatever someone is willing to pay for it.
That's it, dude. That's always it. That's always the case. And quad is a niche, you know what I mean? There's not a lot of people that are interested in them,
I heard Patrick talking about one of the Aerosmith quad albums sounds good or different.
Yeah, I've got that. I've got toys in the attic.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go. Well,
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool, man.
Toys in the attic.
I got the regular version of Toys in the Attic.
Yeah, it's a good recording.
Yeah.
This is a good one too. Black Sabbath Paranoid quad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If I liked a band, I got everything they had in quad. I mean, I didn't hold back. Bread, Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, America, Carpenters, David Gates, Chicago. I got 5 Chicagos.
Cool.
Got the original first album in quad. So Yeah, I mean, I was
Ch-
going
Chicago
nuts with Quad.
aren't my favorite, but they're okay.
They're not your favorite, but they're
I've
okay.
heard all their top 10 hits, and
Yeah. This is a really good one. Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's the way of the world.
I
That's a
like
good
Earth, Wind,
one.
and Fire.
Yeah, that's a good
Most of their
quad.
songs.
Eric Clapton, 461 Ocean Boulevard.
Quadra cool.
Yeah, I saw Chicago and Earth, Wind, and Fire in 2012 together. That was a great concert. Got Shaft in quad.
Oh, cool. I got the regular Shaft soundtrack too.
Never say I got the regular Shaft. That sounds bad. Anyway. Aqualung, Jethro Tull, quad. I got, let's see. Doobie Brothers.
Doobie Brothers. Oh, Doobie Brothers would sound cool, I bet, in quad.
Yeah. Yeah, those mixes sound different. They're under the, I don't know why they're there. Jim Croce.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
You've heard of him. But I don't have a Marvin Gaye. Sorry, I don't have a Marvin Gaye. Yeah, I got a lot of Jim Croce.
Bad Lee Boy Brown. You don't mess around with Jim. Time in a bottle. I got a name.
Yep, exactly. All those. Seals and Crofts. Carly Simon, Santana's greatest hits.
Cool.
Oh, that's a good one. Santana's greatest hits sounds really good. That is a great quad. You can imagine some of that music going round and round. Rick Wakeman, Joe Walsh, Edgar Winter,
Edgar Winter,
Cat Stevens, and then I got 4 Steely Dan's. Test record, quad test record. You're testing your system.
Different songs on it?
Yeah, demo songs.
Okay. Demo songs.
Yeah. No.
I wear glasses, but I don't have readers, so that's why I take my eyeglasses off.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Jason, when is your trip? Oh, where's Jason going? Hopefully somewhere warmer than where he's at. See what he's saying there.
Damned. They were a punk. I actually don't know the Damned's music. Would you?
Oh, he's going to Don Bosch. That's right. He's going to Europe.
Oh, Jason is.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if KRWD is talking to me or someone else. You know how these. Oops. Yeah, I don't want to knock off Novus Nick again. I got to be careful with this mouse.
Yeah, be nice to Nick.
Yeah, I met Stunty before in Sweden. I hadn't met Michael 45.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you guys need ping boosters today for your? Oh, the Carpenters in quad is really unbelievable. And I've got a couple SACDs of them in quad. Their stuff is made so well, mixed so well.
Karen was an awesome singer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did a profile on her. I don't know if you ever saw it, but I did, the reason I did it, I mean, I had some isolated vocals of her that I got some songs of just her vocal, and just a lot of times Richard's his orchestration and arrangement would overpower her vocals even.
Bro, I never thought of that.
Yeah, and you don't realize it until you just hear her voice alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize how good it is. But
I have to go back through your old videos.
Yeah, you need to. It's really listen to it on headphones. Her her voice, because they were 90, 96, 120, 28 kilobyte files. So I mean, they were high-end files. So I enjoyed doing that video actually quite a bit. So anyway, Michael 40. Now, does he live in Dusseldorf? I think he might. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've been to Germany. I'm supposed to go there this year, so I didn't make it on this last trip, unfortunately.
I got German ancestry, last
Do
name.
you? Okay.
HUPF.
Okay.
Bianco, is that French? Your
That's
last name?
Italian.
Oh, Italian.
It's Italian. I was just going to look. Oh, you sent me your. You want me to just put Wyoming Dave on your mail?
No. They would,
I'm gonna put Wyoming Dave. They're gonna go, I don't know whose house this is.
the first and last is fine.
Okay, all right. That's an easy one. Not too many letters. It's not going to make a very big Wheel of Fortune puzzle, right? Yeah, I did. How did I miss Patrick's auction? I mean, well, I know I was at the show, but I just didn't even have it on my brain schedule. Maybe because I knew I was going to be at the show and I didn't think about it. But was it in the afternoon or when was it? Well, I know you're on Mountain Time, right?
Yeah, it was.
Dave?
It was. Yeah, I'm Mountain Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was earlier today. That's all I remember. I only watched.
So it's probably after Rachel's stream, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was.
Yeah. So probably around 1, something like that. Could have caught it, but yeah, I'm glad I wasn't tempted by that Marvin Gaye. So I'm around 2 p.m. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just didn't want to be tempted. The White Album wouldn't tempt me, but
The what?
I'm not a huge fan. 1 p.m. our time. Okay. Thanks, John. Wow. 4 hours. Ron Beaudry. How you doing, Ron? 4 hours. Wow. Oh, Harry I knew Harry was having a whatnot. That's right. I knew about Harry's whatnot, but I didn't. Patrick's. Yeah, I may do one down the road here myself. I've got a lot of duplicates that I want to
get rid of. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Of course, I'm going to have one less duplicate because I'm going to send you the Doors quads.
Well, thanks.
No problem. VCLT. Definitely. Yeah. So great. Good, Ron. I saw your latest video. I saw your one with the burned DVDs of your high-res files. That was good. Good. Always have backups. Important to do that. As long as those discs don't rot on you. That's the only thing you ever got to worry about.
There's a whole bunch of people I don't follow, because I feel like I'm following 100 people already.
So really? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Ron's good. He's been around a while. I want to see that turkey clean. I saved that one to watch later, Ron. I definitely want to see that. What do you want me to do a review of, Nick? You said Doors, but I mean, I'll tell you what I can do. I can do a review now of that stereo versus the quad because I got hold of that stereo of the same mix and I've never seen it before. So maybe I will do that. I didn't think people were interested in the quad, to tell you the truth. I'm really a little bit surprised by this, which is good. I mean, I'm glad, but I thought I was kind of on a little bit of an island about quad.
I think they made quad albums between 71 up to 76 or something.
Yeah, that would be
77.
That would have been the latest for sure. Yeah.
Guess that we're looking at some stuff.
Okay, Nick. Yep. I can do that. Hey, Fabio, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, Yeah, I can, like I said, Nick, I got the stereo of that same album, which I've never seen the stereo version of it. I thought there wasn't one, to be honest with you, because the Best of the Doors has a totally different cover and everything. It's like white. And so I never saw a exact replica of it. And I just saw it the other day and picked it up. And I said, I've definitely got to do that. Your first quad was 5 years ago. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, you're talking to me, Nick? Who you talking to?
Since I have Dave on my.
Dave and David, yeah. Well, I'm
That's
David, so he's Dave,
well,
so we can
I'm
at
not-
least distinguish that. What's that? Oh yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right, Ron. Those are fabulous.
Analog Productions.
Yeah, yeah. I've got. I think most of the. I don't have all of them, but they were top shelf. Thor's auction. Yeah, I saw he was going to have an auction. I'm not really into metal, so I wouldn't. But he definitely he's in his lane there with that. So yeah, he seems like a good guy. He was talking about something about how long since he drank or something, and it was like 30 years. I'm thinking, how old? You don't look that old. I don't know how old he is, but he doesn't look old enough to. But I get fooled a lot. So
No, he doesn't.
and these guys that don't have hair, I definitely can't figure out how old they are. I think they, just you don't have hair, so you immediately the gray hair, shows you unless you got a mustache or something, of course. Thing about what's going on is many consider it the best version, even in 2-channel. Well, there you go, John. Well, that's why you pay the big bucks. Vegetarian. Which Doors are you talking about, Bron? Just so I know, because we were talking about that Doors Greatest Hits, and it's definitely not digital. It came out in the 70s.
That's what Ron said. It was the Best of the Doors.
Yeah, but I'm thinking.
Oh, but there's more than one Grace. Yeah.
Yeah, it's this one. It's not the white one. Yeah, I don't think this is a digital. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I've been wrong before, but I really don't think it is. But I'm going to find out. I've been wrong before, right, Wilbur Hatch?
Tony Hatch.
Tony Hatch, Wilbur Hatch. He had a son called Wilbur. That's it. We've been all over the map, man. When you start talking about Petula Clark and people know what you're talking about, that makes me happy. Because sometimes I think, as these artists, as you get older, it's like they start fading away.
David, before the internet was around, I used to listen to this back when I was a teenager in the late 80s. And then there was a show called what was his name? Damn, I forgot. Oh, Dick Bartley's had an oldie show.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's how I got into I got into old 60s music before the internet was around by listening to his show. Then, internet, you can look up any song now.
Not a lot.
Well,
not a lot. I wasn't a lot into that. A little bit, but Uncle was Orrin Hatch. Oh, good one. I like that. I remember him. I think he passed away. He was a senator, right? I think he passed away not too long ago. But yeah, Orrin Hatch. I remember him. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta look that one up, Ron, to be honest with you, because that one I just picked up, and like I said, I've only ever seen this in the quad format. I never knew they made it in any other, that they actually made this particular selection of songs and stereo at all. And it certainly looks like they went out of their way. They cheaped it out. I mean, they blacked out the quad thing in the corner. And it was about like somebody made a last minute, but you may be right. I mean, it may be that somebody just said, hey, why don't we, that mix sounds different. Let's release it in stereo. Never underestimate an executive's desire to make money.
Ron wants you to show the label.
Oh yeah. Let me go grab it. Hang on a second. Oh, the label on this one.
Prop.
Oh yeah. The label on this one's the red label.
Electra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the red Electra. Yeah, maybe. 73, I know, was when it came out in quad. 60, 50, 35. Let's see what that looks like. E 50, 35. You have much snow up there right now, Dave?
It's starting to it's been starting to melt. Yeah, we got well in January and February it snowed, then didn't get it snowed again another time. So yeah, kind of past 2 months. Starting to melt now. Much snow in Dallas? Probably not.
No, we haven't had any, but we have had it before, and when it does, it's bad.
Look at you.
Yeah, it's bad. Let's see. This is pressed at Santa Maria. This is a Columbia House one. I know that. So.
Yeah, I've been learning from Discogs tells different Santa Maria Terre Haute or hot.
Terre Haute.
Haute, yeah.
It's called Terre Haute, just so you know. That's the proper, because I grew up in Indiana, so I can.
I never knew about these different pressing plants really before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Santa Maria is usually good.
I forget. Yeah, Patrick tells what pressing plant's good, but I forget what he says.
Yeah.
Santa Maria. That's in California, right?
Yeah, it said manufactured by Columbia House under license.
Record.
It's called Columbia House.
That's a record club.
Yeah, record club, right. Well, it's definitely, there's a quad one, but the one I'm showing is a stereo version. The quads are definitely analog because they were done in the 70s for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This one, even in Discogs, it doesn't tell the release date of the actual record for some reason. It doesn't say what the year was. So, no matter, right from the, and I put it right from the master listing, it doesn't even tell you. So, but yeah, I did get the Santa Maria, which is they did a good job on. They were one of the better plants.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, definitely one of the better plants that was out there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think they just took the quad and folded it down from that.
That means.
Yeah, definitely analog. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I think they did. I think they used the same masters for that too, because they were actually, the songs had a little bit different mix to them. I think they just folded it down for stereo for that.
What's I know this is a dumb question. What's folded it down mean?
Fold down just means you take the right front and right rear and fold those into the right channel, and you take the right. Yeah, that's all you do.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's all it is. Nothing.
Well, Monarch. I read about Monarch too.
Yeah, now the white one may be. Yeah, the white one doesn't sound that great, to be honest with you, Ron. Because when I got that one, and I think that one like didn't have Lover Madly on it or something. There was something that was missing off it. It was just totally like, because there were a couple other songs. I'm like, why are they on there? And then one of their biggest 45s wasn't on. It didn't make sense to me. So yeah, I think. Yeah. So I never, like I said, this album I never even knew except to be a quad. That's all it ever was. And that's anytime you ever saw it.
There's an Elvis. Well, I bought it for my mom, but there's an Elvis Presley Hawaii
quad.
That was only released in quad, I think. Right.
No, it's both. I saw, because the reason I say that is today I saw one and it had a sticker on it that said not quad.
Oh, so there's
because a lot of them were quad. Most of them were quad. But it's funny you said that. I literally saw one today. Then they had a big yellow sticker and it said not quad. But I think they sold more of those in quad than they did in stereo, because it was a big promotion they had for quad and Elvis.
I guess I should look up Discogs for more.
Hear Elvis like you've never heard him before. I think was the like you're sitting among the members.
Yeah.
No, they didn't make. Yeah, that's okay. I know you were having a little bit of a typo there, buddy. Let's see what it says. Yeah, you're right. And if you were gonna buy like the CD4 ones, which like that's the Doors is, then you really had to have special equipment. You had to have a special cartridge. You had to have a special decoder that was more expensive. It was actually called a demodulator, and it was more expensive to do CD4. SQ and QS were just like Matrix. They were just Matrix.
More expensive than the average person for that stuff. I bet.
Elvis is everywhere. Yeah, I know. I think I saw him today, actually. Yeah, you said. I think he meant hang on to the quads, hang on to them. Yeah, not. Yeah, I have. Definitely hanging on to them. It's it's I like you. I said I grab them like when I see them usually. Yeah, the JVC CD4 was the only true discrete quad, but again, it cost more to make it work. And even then, I mean, it was like an FM modulated signal that split the channel at 30,000 hertz. Mm-hmm. So your cartridge had to go to 45,000. So there was a special Shibata stylus on these cartridges, and Audio Technica was big. They sold a lot of cartridges that were compatible with that. So
I'm using a newer Audio Technica turntable.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I got from Walmart.
Is it the 6 or is it automatic or manual?
Automatic.
Okay, so it's a 6, probably ATLP 6.
Oh, ATLP something. Yeah, something 60.
They got the little buttons in the front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, ATLP 6. Yeah.
I read someplace that the
cool
manual turntables sound, I don't know, better or something.
They can. I mean,
I don't know.
They don't have any of the mechanisms.
That's what I read.
Yeah, that could get in the way. So I mean, that's it.
But I like the automatic turntables because
no, it has its place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Ron. He's saying sorry that you got a ATLP 6. Yeah, those are, they don't have like you can't adjust the weight of the tone arm, for the stylus or
what do you call it?
It's just it's an Audio Technica stylus, and it's it's not bad, but it's definitely you don't have as much tweaking you can do, on those,
The
unfortunately.
thing where you adjust the needle, the tone arm.
Hey, Fabio. Yeah, I actually was in Spain 2 weeks ago and I did a video on it. So I did a video on it and I think I'll have to add to the description the places I went to, but I had them on camera. I was just south of the government buildings where they are down in Madrid. So I found some good stuff there. I found a really good Beatles find there. I found a Horzu Magical Mystery Tour for $26.
Cool.
Um,
I used to have a Technics turntable. It broke. It was good.
yeah, they look like the SL, but they're called a 120. The Audio Technica manuals AT120 is their manual that looks like a Technics. But if you get one, stay away from the AT120X, which is the newer model, because it doesn't have the ability to adjust the base of the tone arm up and down. On the AT120 without the X, you can turn the whole plate around the tone arm for it to raise or lower, which you sometimes need with different. What's Ron saying? I paid $450 for a new stylus or needle on my cartridge. I've been working on my stereo. Yeah. He's got a moving coil cartridge, Ron, or a moving magnet. I guess a moving coil with that kind of price, but now if you'd have asked me, Dave, I would have said to get the ATLP3 because it's an automatic that has an adjustable everything. It's kind of like a mix of the 6 and the 120. Because I like automatics too, but I've got a dual automatic, so. So
Well,
that was a steal for. Yeah, here's the other thing about that Horzu Beatles, and it was in mint condition, really clean. But the side A of it, the label on it is a German Yellow Submarine side 1 label. It's not Magical Mystery Tour. So it's a misprint on top of it. But the actual record is Magical Mystery Tour on both sides. So it's not on it's not on Discogs. There's no listing for that one. What you got there? Oh, that was your hand. Okay.
that was
I thought you're holding a record up. I'm like, that's the weirdest looking record I ever saw.
That was just my webcam.
Shelter 501. Okay. It's your avatar. Okay.
Hell, I could show you records all day.
Yeah, me too. Moving coil. I figured it was a moving coil. Did you look into getting it re-tipped, Ron, or did you just decide it was just better just to replace the whole thing? Because some people have told me, I guess it depends on the age of the cantilever and all that. Yeah, I think it might be more valuable. Yeah, I honestly do think it might be more valuable, but the guy, even if it was just a regular one, 26 bucks, it was €24, which is $26. €24 was way too cheap for that. I don't think he quite knew what he had. That was like I was in Sweden and I got a RL hot mix of Led Zeppelin 2 for $40. The guy didn't know it, and it was VG++. It was in really good shape, and the guy just didn't know what he had.
Hey, David.
Yep.
Do you like? I've heard about the jazz bums buying those Blue Note Tone Poet series.
Mm-hmm.
You have those? Some of those, do you?
I don't.
Oh, really?
I don't. I have very little jazz.
I love jazz.
Now, I would tell you that if I was going to buy jazz, that's probably what series that I would go for. Yeah.
I guess it sounds good.
Yeah. 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 Joe Harley does those. He's really good at what he does. I've heard some of his stuff.
I've seen an interview with Joe on Micro 45s. I've seen the interviews with Joe Harley.
Yeah, he
Like
did
45, I
one. He
think.
did. Yeah, he's done several interviews. Yeah, yeah,
Cool.
he's
Yeah,
a good guy.
I watched.
Yeah. I'm sure he's talking about misprints. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I know Nick, Novus Nick.
Oh, that was the 3-tip I had to send to California and get it done. Nuke. Okay, got you. Okay. All right. You did get the retip. Okay. All right. Good deal. That's a good approach. Yeah, I got a new phono stage, so now I'm looking for probably a cartridge change now that the phono stage sounds so much better. It's what happens. You go up in this and you go up in that, and then you start just keep doing it, you know. But I got to be a little careful because the cartridges I get have got to be able to reach that higher frequency for that CD4. So it limits you a bit on what cartridges you. Audio Technicas are actually the most prevalent ones that still can do that. So Nevis Nick says Pone Poets are very well done. Yeah, I think they are too. Yeah. What I've heard of them. Yeah. Endless climb until you say enough. Yeah, I know. Or your wife says enough. But you know, Nick was telling me last night his wife's like she's really into music and how it sounds and everything. And I'm like, man, that's a rare bird. Rare. Yeah, I'll say to my wife, can you hear that difference? She's like, oh, I don't hear anything. Yeah. No, yeah. And like I said, the condition of it was, I mean, the label thing's an anomaly. I mean, it's not why I bought it. Obviously, I didn't. But I can tell you when I saw the label and I went and read the dead wax because I just want to make sure they didn't have the plates messed up where they actually did put Yellow Submarine on the other side. Yeah, it's a unicorn, Nick. Yeah. It's okay. That's not why, like I said, not why I got it. It was just what's ironic is I go to UK to find the UK pressings and I can't find them. I saw more UK pressings in Spain than I saw in UK. It was like,
Really?
like
That's interesting.
yeah, it's like
That's
crazy.
nice.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. There was a store I went into in Spain. It was really a guy opened at 5 o'clock, believe it or not, and waited for him to open. Got in
In the
there
morning? Oh,
in the evening, no, in the night,
oh,
and yeah, and well, he was like 5 to midnight, you know, late. You know, they eat dinner at 8:30, 9 o'clock in Spain. So just to give you an idea,
oh.
so they wake up late. It's just different culture, but his records were packed so tight in his shelves you couldn't flip them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you're having to, and after a while you start
Exactly.
getting it's work. You know, it's actual work to.
You'd have to take some out to look.
Yeah, basically that's
Exactly.
what, you know, and then they started getting busy and, you know, you're trying to move a bunch here and as it was just, I kind of just, oh, I said I said, that's enough. I walked
That's
out.
enough.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I think I could have found some stuff there, but it's just, what do you got here? Purchase a new Lightning Hopkins. I'm assuming you're meaning. Had a completely different album pressed on the wax. Wow. Brand new. You mean brand new? A new repress. Okay, yeah, gosh. Wow. I mean, I saw a few records at the show today. When I pulled the record out, it didn't match the jacket, but they were used, and that I've
Always
seen.
look inside and make sure it's right.
Yeah.
Any place. I've learned that.
Okay. Thanks, Ron. I'll take a look at that. I can't. I don't remember seeing that one, to be honest with you. Yeah, you got to know your seller. You know,
Mm,
you
yeah.
definitely got to know your seller. There's no doubt about that. Asking Ron if he has a Bang& Olufsen turntable.
I've heard of those.
Oh, I have too. No, it's
I mean,
original, a live turntable from the UK. Stylus is not removable, so yeah, you got no choice. Yeah. Yep, that'll do it. That'll make it where you're going to have to send it in.
well,
Yep.
hope I'm not being too much of a bump on a log here.
Oh no, man, no, you're great. No problem whatsoever. I'm glad
I'm
to
still
have
a
you
little,
on.
little shy. I'm still a little bit of shy person, you know.
Sure. No, I understand. Well, I'm glad this is comfortable for you. That's good. I mean, that's good. That's how you get your sea legs a bit.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. That's kind
I
of what I like to do.
I got on a music talk with John stream 2 times
Did you?
a few weeks
Cool.
ago. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I've watched some of his. He's on. His wife's on with him sometimes.
His daughter
Is his
was.
daughter? Okay, I didn't know if his daughter. I thought there was a gal on there talking quite a bit.
Oh
But
yeah, you and I we were on Chance's stream and John
yeah,
had his
yeah,
daughter a
yeah.
few weeks ago.
Okay,
And
okay.
she put his cat on his back.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
replay,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
video's still up too. But
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, that's cool.
I've been
So
on
yeah.
Jazz Bum's live stream 2 times.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would be out of my element there, so I wouldn't. That's not my wheelhouse. So
Mike knows his stuff, definitely.
yeah, I'm more likely to get on Patrick's stream
Oh
than
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the cantilever is attached to the coil, cannot be removed. That's why I wondered about whether you had a moving coil or not. Yeah, no, it's a very fine art to do that, no doubt about it. I think earlier he said that retip was 450, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, it's an art. I mean, there's no way to put it, you know. $450. Now that's not the Andy Kim that was a recording artist. I just want to be sure that everybody. I'm assuming that's the case. You know, baby, how'd we ever get this way? You know,
Yeah.
those songs. Yeah, okay.
Rock Me Gently.
On Steed Records, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This may be an Asian Andy Kim.
I've heard. I like his music. The American,
Yeah.
Canadian.
Robin McNamara was another one. Lay a Little Lovin'
They
on
Loving
Me.
on Me.
Same brand, same label.
I got that 45. They Loving on Me.
Yeah.
I collect 45 records.
Yeah, I've got all mine from when I was a kid, so I was buying those back then when they came out.
I'm not mentioning names. There's a few people in the BC that don't like 45s at all.
Hmm.
Oh well, see, if I don't want to buy the whole album, I like looking for old hit singles from the late 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
That's why.
No. I mean, they have their place. I mean, that's you know, when I was in radio, we spun a lot of 45s.
Oh, cool. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
yeah. I mean, definitely did.
I could talk. I have every single, just this past year, I have every single Brenda Lee top 40 hit. Well, almost every.
Kidding.
Well, not every single, but every one of
Okay.
Brenda Lee's top 40 hits from 60 at least up to 64. And every single one, took me a while, but I have every single
Connie
one.
Francis.
Connie Francis's top 40 hits too.
You got Blue Winter.
Yes, I do.
Okay. That's a tough one. That's got a great song on the flip side too. I can't remember the name of it, but it's got a great song.
I'm terrible listening to flip side sometimes.
Yeah. That one's got a great flip side song.
I'll have to listen to it now.
Yeah.
And I have every single one of Everly Brothers top 40 hits too. It took me a while to find all those.
Oh yeah, I bet you did.
They,
Yes. Yeah, that is.
it's a-
Yeah, I saw that. I think is that the 6 LP set that's on vinyl. That one, X File. Yeah, I've thought about jumping to an MC card. I just don't know. I mean, the phono stages I have will handle it. So, but I just don't know. I don't know. I guess, we were talking last night. You can't go anywhere, just to A/B stuff to compare stuff anymore, really, like you used to be able to. I mean, I guess there's a couple high-end shops here in Dallas, but 45s are cool. The only issue is when you get a styrene for.
noisy.
Yeah, they were noisy. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely were. Yeah, well, you got to have a preamp that can handle it. So that's good. Your phono stage will handle it. That's half the battle right there. But yeah, I mean, good.
That's a good question. What's what do start? What do styrene 45s look like? I mean,
They
I don't know. What do
they're
they look like? I
they're
mean,
they're, they're more brittle, I would say.
okay.
They've got a more brittle kind of a feel to them as opposed to like a plasticky where you can kind of bend it a little bit. Styrene will tend to snap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
they're
Maybe I have
well.
some.
You've probably got some in that collection. I'm sure. I have no doubt. Yeah, but
And
yeah.
one other, I have almost every single Elvis, not every single Elvis Presley 45, but between 56 up to 63, I almost have all his top 10 hits.
Hmm.
Took me a while.
Wow. Yeah, I did a video on Elvis's "Suspicious Minds" song. I don't know if you know the story behind that song from the 70s, "Suspicious Minds."
Mark James wrote Suspicious Minds.
Yes, exactly. His story, the Mark James story, related to that.
I have not seen that video.
Yeah, you need it's interesting story about how it got written.
Oh, no, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I know the song.
That one I did that, and there's Mamas and the Papas. I Saw Her Again has a backstory too. I did those two backstories
I
on
think I might
a
have heard
video.
about. I think I might know the I Saw Her Again story, possibly.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's Ortophon. I've Ortophons. I've never really, the sound of them hasn't really done much for me. I don't know why. I think everybody has their, sound that is more compatible with what the, they had a duller finish than the vinyl. Yeah. They weren't as shiny, I guess, is another way to look at it too. They had a, kind of a flat kind of texture to them, kind of. Oops, sorry. To them black, yeah. Robert Plant. Yeah, I mean, there was a David Gilmour About Face. I think I was going to buy today, and I saw it. I just never went back to the booth. I mean, they're out there, so I'm not that worried about it. But that's the only thing I can think of that I was like, I never went back to that booth to pick that one up.
Yeah, David Gilmour. I know who he is. Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Pink Floyd. Yeah.
He did some solo albums.
No, I'm not into blues. You, Dave?
Not really. Hate to say it.
I got enough reason to be depressed. I don't need the music to help me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just. But
I guess I've heard of John Lee Hooker, but don't really know his music.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, he was around for a long time. I know that. I know the name. I mean, but Yeah.
There's also BB King, of course.
Oh, sure.
You heard
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
I don't know all his music though.
Don't forget to sleep, Ron. Yeah. People say that to me. Do you ever sleep? Like, yeah, occasionally. Occasionally when I really get desperate. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, Ron, I meant to tell you, I see your videos are in 4K. They look good. Good job on upgrading. Yeah. Those are so Nick, who's releasing those recordings? What label is it? Audiophile type pressing or just over, as I call them, over the counter, right?
Good.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Whoops, audio gone. Audio gone. Was that a YouTube channel, Ron? Oh, they're Craft. Okay. Wonder who mastered them. Wonder who mastered those, Nick. Craft's doing pretty good work.
I've looked up that Craft recordings on disc. They have some few other albums that I probably wish I would have seen in some stores.
Yeah.
I would like to have.
Hey guys. All right. KRWD. Thanks. I'll be on just a few more minutes and I'm going to hit the sack myself. Maybe read some out of my Beatlemaniac book tonight.
It's too bad you didn't get any more people up here. Maybe.
Yeah, that's okay. It's Saturday night. Everybody's
yeah.
probably coming down from St. Patrick's Day, right?
Right.
Well, I'll tell you, there was
I do have a little Irish in me someplace on my mom's side. So I'm a mutt. Definitely.
I would say you're all over the place.
Germany.
I'm like 100% French Canadian, so I'm like.
Oh yeah, I heard you were born in Canada, right?
Yeah, born in Quebec. Yeah.
Mm. I don't hear you going
Hey, no, I don't. I was only in Canada for a few months of my life, and then I was adopted and came to the U.S.
No offense to Canadians.
No. So Kevin Gray, man. Yeah, well, I figured it had to be somebody good, Nick. Right? You know, that's people. You know, who masters these things is really critical. So there's stuff I will not buy until I know who mastered it, because I'm not gonna. Like, if you tell me Joe Ragoso or whatever the guy's name is at Friday Music mastered it, I won't touch it. The guy couldn't master anything. He's just awful. And you look at his background and you know why. I mean, I don't know how he ever got the job he got, but okay. But really, destroyed them, I think. I've never, it's kind of like I see his name and I wouldn't consider buying. I mean, you give it to me, I wouldn't buy it. I saw an America Homecoming today that was on Friday Music, and I said, yep, he did it. I have no interest in it. Otherwise, I would. But
that name, I never heard of Joe Ragoso before. Actually.
Yeah. I'm probably butchering his name a little bit, but it's Reganoso or something like that. But I just, it makes such a huge difference. It's a calling card, I'd say, for it. So, but anyway, gang, I'm going to get ready to close her down. Dave, thanks you. I will send you that this week. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think of it.
Oh, well,
the Doors Greatest Hits and Quad.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome.
Okay.
Thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for coming up tonight. You take care of yourself, buddy. See you. Yeah, it's good having somebody else up here. That's good. Let them get used to that. So thanks, Novus and gang. Thank you all for being here tonight, sticking with us. And you all stay safe and have a great Sunday. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Take care, everybody.